Hi everyone. This is an introduction to the Tai Chi Paradigm, and what we're going to be doing is what I call the linear form. And the linear form is using these mirrors, and I'll be doing a front view of all the movements in the 7 sections of the Tai Chi Paradigm short form. And it has about 37 postures it has 37 movements with 16 postures. And what we're going to do is work toward just developing the transitions and identifying the different postures, and that way we can do a section at a time. And as you begin to get familiar and memorize the movements and help with your coordination, then we can progress into learning the sequence as a mapped out form, because the Tai Chi form actually does transitions that move within a certain space. So we have it set up so that hopefully you can follow this more easily than trying to learn the form just watching it from either the front or side view. On that note, that's the introduction, and hope you can follow these. Along with that there's a set of what I call the fundamental movements of the form, and that's on a different video. Doing those actually will help you build coordination, but to learn the sequence, it's this. Okay, so introducing you to the first section of the form, it will be a series of movements and postures, but I'm not assuming that you've actually followed some of the other fundamental videos that I have. So we have to start off right from the beginning, set up our feet with a 90-degree corner angle with the feet. We pivot on the balls of the feet. That establishes a shoulder width stance. If we shift the weight from one side to the other, we have the options of moving the heel toward the center to create the first foot position. Once you step up, this is called the empty stance. When we lower the foot and lean forward, this is your archer stance or the bow stance. It's actually like leaning into the forward position, and we sit back and go forward. So that's the basic transition and footwork. Now if I bring this foot back in, bend the knees, shift the weight. This is your right side stance. The other side was our left stance, and this is your left forward stance. Okay, then we go back. Okay, now I'm going to go back into the left side stance. It's called a left empty stance. When I go forward and back, to step forward, I move the foot out, I pass through center, and I plant the right foot down, and then go forward and back. Okay, now let's reset. Remember, the ball of the foot on both feet take you to the shoulder width stance. Okay, so this is where we begin the first section of the form, and it's all going to be toward the mirror. This movement is called preparation. Once we step up on the left side, we go to the vertical elbow position. So that's this position. We go to the horizontal elbow, put the hands together and go forward. We sit back, turn the front foot, step through. Now we're going to flip the hands, stroke down, move the center with the left, and then move the right hand in front. Okay, those two movements are called beginning style left and right side. When I go to horizontal on this side and I add 2 movements, this becomes right side grasp the sparrow's tail. Turn the inside hand up and push forward. Hook your wrists. Turn your front foot 45 degrees, but we're not going to step through. We're just going to place the foot next to it, and it's parallel. Now we're going to reach out toward the left side, pivot on the heel where both feet end up 45 degrees. We're going to draw this hand across, your left hand, to this position. This is called single whip. the palm of the hand goes toward the center, and you lower it. You cross over with the hooked hand, and you level off. It's a shoulder. This is called hold the ball. We shift. Now look at my right foot. I just on the heel. I set up my arm so I slant up like this. This is called diagonal flying. I shift again, check my weight here, step up. I go to vertical right side. So my right foot and my right hand are the same, on the same side. I push forward or press forward. Now I lower the hand as I step through center to a shoulder width stance. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. And relax. Okay, so that's the whole first section with the postures, and we go through the movements. You can watch this video over and over again, but some of the key points is that your footwork, watch the video, pay attention to the feet. Vertical elbow is like this when the elbow's down. Horizontal is when the elbows are out. Now, in some of the other videos with the fundamentals in the exercises, I talk more about what vertical elbow is, horizontal elbow. So some of those concepts have to be picked up from those warm-ups or fundamental videos, because this is purely so you can identify the posture and learn what's the first section of the form. When I go to the next section of the form, there'll be another series of hand movements and postures. And as you build off of that, you build the understanding of what each section is, and then you can string it together to create the Tai Chi Paradigm form. And that form is really designed to help you learn the form and to help prevent sort of the age-related degeneration that people have as they age. It helps your balance, it helps your coordination, and it's something that I think is vital to part of your practice. So stay tuned for the next section. It's going to be on section 2. Hi everyone. We're going to work on section 2 of the form. So we're going to start off with the last where the last posture ended, and we're going to just set up the first position. So the first position again is going to be left leg forward. We find the vertical elbow. Okay, that's vertical elbow. The left palm faces out, and you bring your right palm in front of the left palm, and we turn to the right. This is called brush knee right side push. And then we sit back. So brush knee right side push means that the inside hand goes down and brushes the knee, and the right hand pushes. Okay, that's complete. We go to the left side. We twist out and step through. We turn to the left, flip the elbows, bring the inside hand down, and push forward. We reset, we sit back, go to vertical elbow, and we go forward and back. Turn out, step up. This is going to be the fourth brush knee. So we do 4 of these in the form. Then we reset, sit back to vertical. The next posture is going to be strum the lute. So we turn to the right 45 degrees, and we turn back to center. Okay, palm is facing up. We lean forward, pass through center, find the shoulder width stance, and this is called close the door. Drop your elbows, sink your knees, form the fists, and step up. Left foot forward again, and we punch. We sit back. This is called divert and block. It's the infinity sign in the fundamental drills. Cross the arm. This is called leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Okay, that's the final position in this section of the form. So what are key points that are important is that step through And in the first brush knee position, I call it the reverse round out. So typically when my hand is like this is on the same side. This time it's going to be in the opposite side the first time, and you're going to turn, drop the elbow, bend the knees, and project forward and back. Okay, so the forward and back into a vertical elbow position is something that if you pay attention to specifically that every time this foot is up, you may be in a vertical elbow position on the same side. So it's fingertips up, toe up. On the opposite side would be fingertip up and toe up. Okay, so that's just a tip, and it's also for you to reference. And then the horizontal positions, whether it's right or left side or it's the same side or opposite, you have to pick that up when you're watching the video, and then you practice like that over a period of time, and you start to get familiar and identify with what that first position is. Okay, strum the lute is really the vertical elbow. You're going to go to one side and back to center. Close the door is pushing on the center, and typically you're in a stance, so this is what has to happen. You're going to step up and push. That's called close the door. You form the fists, step up, and you would punch. Okay, this is your infinity sign. It's called divert and block. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. And this is where you pause. The next section will follow after this, and it'll be. Hi everyone, we're back. We're on the third section of the form, and we're going to start off in the left-legged stance again, the left empty stance, and we're in the vertical position. This first posture is going to be fist under elbow. We turn to the corner, which is the 45-degree corner from the starting position, and we relax the arms and lower the hands and stroke out like this. Now one hand is in front of the other. Front leg has the longer arm, and then we sit back and we form gentle fists, and we turn the inside hand up and bring this hand to vertical. So this is called fist under the elbow. The next position is to reset to neutral. We go to horizontal elbow left, and we press. So this is called press, where the hot palms come together. Now we're going to turn to the left and straighten the back foot and sit back. Pass through center, reverse the stance. Now we're going to do the same hand movement as brush knee. That's as simple as it gets. The explanation is just repeat the hand movements that you learned in brush knee. Go forward and turn, straighten the back foot, sit into that leg, check your way, pass through center, find the reverse position, and sit back. Flip the elbows, brush down, and push. I'm just using that to cue you, so that cue you in for the brushing of the knee is really repulse monkey hand movements. Now we turn to the left again. We do it 3 times in the form. The rear foot turns, and you've noticed when we turn and the rear foot spins, most of the weight is on the forward leg. Now we pass through center again, and now we're in the back stance. We flip the hands, bring the inside hand down, and push forward. So that completes 3 repulse the monkey movements. Then we go to the right side vertical. It's one of the few times that we have this set up. Then we're going to turn hands like this, hold the ball, so the elbows just lifted up and went out to the sides. Now I'm going to step up by turning the front foot. Then I'm going to lean forward as I plant the foot down and turn for a diagonal flying. I sit back to center. I bring my foot back. I lift my foot and I insert the needle. I step forward, I adjust the front foot. I pivot on the heel of the back foot to its 45 degrees. And I'm going to do what we call fan through the back. Okay, so fan through the back is going toward the front direction. But if there's a side view, then you would see fan through the back is this position. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just show you some of those positions, because this is one of the few times that you actually turn off to the side to see those positions. So diagonal flying, we know from hold the ball that that's what that is, diagonal flying. Okay, so diagonal flying, you lean into this corner. Now in the form, you're going to see it like this. It's essentially the same position. Insert needle, it's called insert needle to the bottom of the C. Your hands go up and down like this. So when we're in the diagonal flying and we sit back, the foot comes back and we go up and down. And we step forward. And this is transitioning, opening the feet, set your feet up to fan through the back. If I show you a view from here where it's a side view with that front mirror, we insert the needle, we step up, adjust the feet, and we're in fan through the back. Okay, so this is the position. In that front sequence, we're like this. Okay, so that's just so that's more clear to you on the visual side of it, because learning visually is how we're picking all of these movements in, and you're trying to digest that. So at the same time, you have to understand the different footwork and identify each of the postures. Now this is again is creating the linear form for when you do the total mapped out form, and those individual postures can be practiced from another tutorial, which will be something that maybe you were exposed to after the warm-ups or after the fundamentals. The idea of divert and block in the second section, fan through the back, these are all drills that are inside those fundamental positions or fundamental exercises. So next video will be the fourth video. We'll pick it up from this last movement, which would be fan through the back. So we're going to pick it up from there in the next video, going to another position. So see you then. Okay, hi everyone. We're going to go through the next section. It's the fourth section, and I said it's going to pick up from fan through the back. Now, it's a little harder to see these movements from this direction, so he's still using that front mirror, and the movements actually will be going in this direction. So from fan through the back, I have to set up my legs. This is where fan through the back is. So I have two options. I can go like this, or I can set up like this. So this is typically what would happen. You would turn. So that's the 180-degree turn. As I mentioned before, that those transitions are in the fundamentals. This is called parry and punch. So try that again. I'm going to stroke down, and when I stroke down, do one hand at a time. The fist comes down, the left hand comes in, we sit back, invert the hand, turn toward your left, and separate the hands. This hand's going to come across the face, and then you're going to turn back into that side position. Then we sit back, we form the fists, toe out, step up. My left hand is vertical. I punch, I pull back, divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. And this ends that section. Now, when you see these movements, form the fist, divert, block, and punch, we actually did that in the second section of the form. So that's just a repeat of those movements. So forming the fist and punching is a repeat. Leopard and Tiger Springs to Mountain is a repeat. So the only real new transitions is from fan through the back to Parry and Punch. Okay, so this posture is a little bit different from all the others because now we're turning to the opposite side. So I'm going to do it from this position, and then when I turn, I'm actually facing the camera or in the camera direction, and you can see that the hand is doing this. Then we form the fist, so you would be in opposite direction where you divert, block, and punch. You cross the arms, and you're going to do leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Okay? Then we bring the hands down and relax. Okay, so that's the fourth section of the form, and with the fourth section of form, all we've done is the linear movements. Okay, so that would end that video. Now pick that up from leopard and tiger springs to mountain, and what's going to happen with the next section of movement is it's going to go through to the left side movements, and that's really the mirror images to what we've just done on the right side in many ways. And then there'll be a series of new ones as we go into the fifth and sixth and seventh sections of the form. So that would end this section for now. Hi everyone, we're going to go to the fifth section of the form. It's going to take us to the back side of the mapped out sequence, and when we do those movements, the first transition that takes us there is called carry tiger to the mountain. Now when we do a drill in class with the fundamentals, this is called carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, so this series of movement